Definitely doesn't smell like a lemon langoriously soaked in alcohol, which is what some of the marketing language for this was.
Langoriously.
Langoriously. Yeah.
Great word.
That's a $2 word. Hello and welcome to My Tiny Bottles, the project where I'm exploring my grandmother's legacy of miniature liquor bottles, one tiny bottle at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Coxon, and I'm here with Tony Jimenez. Tony, where are we?
We're at One Tippling Place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
It's a craft cocktail bar that's been here for about 11 years.
It's fantastic. It's really beautiful. Lots of great art. You guys can't see that, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's we like to say it's like Teddy Roosevelt's sitting room. Just very eclectic, a lot of whiskey and just good drinks.
So Tony, why did we end up coming together to taste this tiny bottle?
Well, it was a combination of like a couple of different factors at a moment in time. You did an interview with Souther Teague, who lots of love to Souther. We love you.
We all love Souther.
And I was interested to see why he was tasting tiny bottles, because I also love tiny bottles. At the same time, my grandmother had died, and she collected miniatures like from bottles to like tiny beer steins and like
amazing
tiny like tea sets, like the porcelain ones for dollhouses. But I didn't get to keep almost any of it, just like one or two mementos. So it was nice to be able to like live vicariously through your experiment. And I just reached out and said, I liked what you're doing and I'm a fan.
Awesome. Well, I am thrilled to have you here. This is a bottle that I just thought was really weird and interesting. And when I asked you what you wanted to taste, you're like, something weird and interesting. I was like, oh, great. So this is like an invented product by Gilbey's of Canada in the 1980s. They did a whole bunch of test marketing and research to try to come up with something that would appeal to drinkers of white spirits. Because, of course, it's the 80s. So vodka, gin is falling out of favor. Vodka, tequila, white rum, those things are coming back or starting to become popular. So they invented this, but they asked those people what they like. They also said lemon. So it's a dry lemon liqueur. I have no idea. But in 1983, it's featured an article about how great product development companies can be. And in 1986, it's featured an article about how products can fail. So we're going to go on that journey here ourselves.
I'm interested to see if it failed because it just tasted bad, or it just was a product that the crowd wasn't ready for.
Right. And if you ask the development company, they will say, well, we told them it didn't taste good. And if you ask the marketing director at the brand, he was like, well, the liquor stores didn't put it on the right shelf. So, all right, well, it's got a beautiful little label that's utterly incomprehensible because they just shrunk the big one down to be mini. But I trust, you have to trust me that it says lemon somewhere on it.
It says lemon at some point.
All right, we're just going to go in.
Let's go.
No fooling around here. It looks a little syrupy. It looks like it might have some sugar in it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers to grandma's.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It smells like, you get that like artificial lemon smell.
Yeah, I was a little worried this is going to taste like lemon pledge. It doesn't instantly smell like lemon pledge to me, but definitely doesn't smell like a lemon langoriously soaked in alcohol, which is what some of the marketing language for this was.
Langoriously.
Langoriously. Yeah.
Great word.
That's a $2 word. Yeah, I don't get a lot of notes, but that's my experience actually with these bottles is they kind of take some time to open up. They've been cooped up for some time. They're like, what's going on? A little bit.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of cleaner smell.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, let's just dive in and taste it. Well, it's got a lot more taste than it does aroma.
It has a caramel finish that I was not expecting.
That's probably just age, right? I think anything that's been in a bottle for 40 mumble years is going to have a little oxidation. A lot of these old products get that kind of like dustiness, I must think about it, but very much caramel here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it accentuates the fact that it does have sugar in it.
It definitely is sugar.
It got concentrated.
Yeah. Although this is a glass bottle and it was pretty good shoulder level. So I don't think we lost a lot of alcohol. So it starts better than I expected it to.
It starts with limoncello vibes.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like, woo, here's
With
a
like-
lemon.
With like a dry limoncello vibe,
Yeah.
and then just straight into the sweetness.
Yeah. And then this sort of like real kind of off note at the end.
Like overcooked, like dates in a way, like some like dark fruit that just wasn't handled right.
You know what? So what I get this big, big lemon beginning,
Yes.
right? And then it kind of tumbles into the sweetness, like you said.
Yeah,
And then I get this bitter finish, right? It's like the pith of the lemon stayed in there too long.
full.
I get a pithy, bitter finish. What do you think?
It's the lemon, then the sweet. Like lemon meets quinine a little bit.
A little bit.
Like
That-
there's that I see that dryness.
Right. I'm going to add some water. Because I don't think they really intended this to be drunk on its own. Because it was like the 80s. People mix things. So they were like, put this in some soda water or some 7-Up. Better when you can't taste as much of it. The bitter finish definitely isn't as present when it's
Yeah.
not so strong.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
without that bitter finish, it loses that complexity that was
Complexity.
the complexity that it made it like interesting in the first round. It was like, oh, it's like a roller coaster of like different
Right.
flavors.
And now it's just
Now
like
it's
lemon
like
water.
it's lemon water.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the leap with me.
The dry failed lemon core.
Awesome. Well, if you want to learn more about this, you want to see pictures of the bottle, read the story, or watch or listen to the story about Mandalay, you can find that at mytinybottles.com. You can also do what Tony did and go to my Instagram, which is at mytinybottles, and like all the posts. But Tony, if people want to find you, where do they find you?
I'm on Instagram as Tony Holds Camera. Not a lot of as entertaining content
All
as
lies.
Tammy, but yeah, it's mostly cats. Yeah,
Cats are good.
cats and bars. Salut.
Salut.